Hello, this is Mrs. Pullen for AP Statistics Midterm Review 2023. And in this video, I'm going to go over two problems from Chapter 1 and one problem from Chapter 4. So, problem number 1. The 5-number summary of credit hours for 24 students in statistics class is as follows. So that's the number of hours they're taking in college. So, which of the following statements is true? And when you look at the statements, they're all talking about outliers. So, that must mean that they're doing the outlier test. And so, this is something that you have to memorize, and it's on all tests. So, you have the lower fence or the lower bound of the outlier. And to get that, you're going to take Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. And then the upper fence, I'll write that here because I ran out of room. And that's Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. And that has to be memorized. So the IQR is Q3 minus Q1, quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So in this case, it's 18 minus 15 or 3. And so to get the upper bound, you're going to take quartile 3, which is 18 plus 1.5 times 3. And when you do that, you get 22.5. And to get the lower fence, you're going to take quartile 1, 15, minus 1.5 times 3. And when you do that, you get 10.5. And then I'm going to make a number line. I thought it was on a line thing. Let's try that again. Better. Well, I made a mess, but let's ignore the mess I made. And what I like doing is actually drawing this out. It's not a necessity, but I do find that it helps people. So the lower fence is 10.5 and the upper fence is 22.5. Any values in between them are considered usual. Okay, they're not an outlier. And any values above would be classified as a high outlier, and any values below are classified as a low outlier. And so when I look at the minimum value here, the minimum value is 13, so that's within the usual region, and the maximum value is 22, which is in the usual region. So in this case, there are no outliers, and that's not always the case, just this one problem. I was also asked to do number 5. Okay, 40 students, so be careful, that's the number. So 40 students, that's our sample size, took a stats exam, and the scores are shown below. The score distribution is shown in the following stem plot. Now, this stem plot is missing something, right? It's missing the key. So if you have 1/12, 1/2, that means that that person got a 12 out of 50 on the exam. All right. They want you to find the third quartile. Well, the third quartile is the value in the 75th position. So how do you get the 75th position? Well, you know there are 40 students in the STEM plot. Like if you counted everyone, it's 40. And you would multiply that by 0.75. And when you do that, because quartile 3 is 0.75, you get 30. And you want to count till you find the 30th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can count 10 backward, which I think is what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you get a value of 44. And next, we are going to go over a problem from Chapter 4. And I was asked to go over, hold on, I'm trying to find it. 34. So 34 is using the random number table, and occasionally you'll find a problem like this on the AP statistics test, and you will definitely find it on my midterm. And so they, what these numbers are just like a row from this random number table. So I'm just going to highlight it so you can see what I mean. So a scientist is measuring the total amount of leaf litter in a random sample of n equals 5 random forest sites without replacement from a population of 45 sites. So that's really important. So his sample size is 45. The sites are labeled 1 through 45, and she starts taking it, going from the beginning line of a random number table and selecting the leaf litter that they're going to use. Okay, so it just in case anybody is confused, there are a total of 45 sites. She only wants, so like the total population, I guess, would be 45. She only wants to sample 5 of these leaf litter sites. So she numbered the sites and she needs to choose them randomly. So this whole point is, instead of using a random number generator, she's using this random table. And so we have to take 2 digits at a time because some of the numbers are 2 digits. So you can't just do one at a time. And so what you want to do is break this up and start choosing from left to right the first 5. Well, 38 works because that's a number between 0, 1, and 45. But 68 does not work because it's over 45. 35 works. 2 works. So we're just going in order. We did this one doesn't work. This one works, 2 works, but 79 does not work, right? Because it's over 45. And so far we only have 1, 2, 3, and I need 2 more. 38 normally would be good, but we already used it and we had chosen that first, so that doesn't work. 22 works, right? It's between 0 and 1 and 45, and we haven't chosen it. And right after 22 is 40, and 40 works. And that's our 5th and final one. And so we carefully look to make sure we're choosing correctly. And that would be, it looks like choice E. I hope these videos are helping, and I will see you tomorrow.